Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. All right. So 1 year since we got this bad boy. And then today we'll just do a 1 year review with my likes, dislikes, pro, cons, everything. Okay, maybe not everything, but let's talk about it. So this is the 2020 Fuel EX5. That's the bottom of the line of the EX line. But the really cool thing is this frame is the same as the EX8. So back in 2020, it's the 2020. The problem with this bike at the very beginning was it was a 10-speed. Yeah, that sucked. I think the gear ratios were 11:42 in the back. So that was one of the things that I knew that if I bought this, I would have to actually upgrade that, and that'd be one of the first things. So let's talk about what I've done to this bike. I'm probably at maybe 1,200 miles, give or take 100 miles in there in 1 year, all dirt. And it's been in places, it's been to Utah, been bike parks, so I've done my little thing with it. So I can't lie, I actually thoroughly enjoy it. The one thing that I wish Truck would have said early on is they would have told us that we could put a 150 mil fork on it. So I did get a 140 mil DVO diamond. Had I known, I would have moved it to 150, but I could still upgrade that. I think there's something I could do with the DVO, but we'll just leave it as is. And I only did one race this year. And the reason being is the coronavirus kind of slowed down the races. And then the one race that I was supposed to do in Bryan Head, I just was too out of shape. So it is what it is. All right, let's talk about what I've done to this bike and what it had before. So the first thing you maybe notice is the DVO Topaz Air 3. So it had the RockShox Deluxe Select. This was just a little bit better. Actually, not a little bit, but a lot better. Because we do have the negative chamber in there, and that helps out with a lot of the... And we have no pedal bob. And the reason with that is because we have the rebound set to a certain point that we're really not getting any kind of pedal bob. So every time I ride, it's about 700 to 1,000 feet of climbing. And yeah, it works out like a champ. I really like it. So I pretty much keep it in the traverse mode, so you can move it to that mode here. I can't keep it in the lockout mode because it doesn't fit with my water bottle. So I guess that could be a con, but in this mode, it's awesome. It climbs everywhere and actually go down a lot. If it's something that's really massive terrain that I'm gonna be, hitting some bigger jumps, I'll go ahead and put that in the open mode. That brings me to my next point. So the cassette. So I switched it to the 1051. That's a 1051 XT Shimano. And the reason for that is just gives me a better gear range to be able to climb up. That 1042 with the 30 tooth chain ring, that was really tough to climb. That was really tough to climb in. Yeah, it was tough, I ain't gonna lie. And you would spin out when you would actually go at a certain speed. I think it was 25 miles an hour, and then you just couldn't spin anymore. So to solve that, we went ahead and went with a 34 oval chainring by Absolute Black. So now I got some serious gearing now. It's really tough to actually get in that top gear and actually just really grind it out, and you can't spin out on that. I've been at 31 miles an hour, and it's pretty tough to get spinned out on that. So let's talk about the drivetrain. So I did upgrade to that Absolute Black 34. You're gonna have to shave a couple of teeth on the chain ring, but don't tell anybody. But a couple of teeth are gonna hit the frame, so you're gonna have to change it. A 32 works fine, but since this is racing season now, winter time, you're gonna have to change it. So, and then this is the 12-speed XTR, I think M9100. It shifts pretty smooth. I really like it. change it back up with the 12-speed shifter XTR. Yeah, it's really smooth. One of the cool thing with their Hyperglide is what they're really selling the new XTRs on, and XT and Saints and SLX is to be able to shift under power. We've been told not to shift under power for so long, and now to shift that way. Now I can't shift any other way. So it's great for climbing. Works out really good. Then I think one of my favorite upgrades is going to be these XTR 4-piston brakes. These are pretty rad. So I'm about 260, so these have worked out like a champ. If they can slow me down, they can slow you down. Almost guaranteed that. And they got the Ice Tech rotors, a 205 in the front and 180 in the back. I don't know why we don't go bigger in the back, but apparently that's just what it is as a standard. So, all right, what I didn't like I said before, is the cassette gearing was pretty bad. The brakes were decent. I never rode on them because I knew that I needed to go to a 4-piston. And I actually got it from the factory, not factory, but from the Trek store with the 4 pistons on them. So it was an upgrade that I knew I needed to do. It was my first upgrade. Let me see what other cons. Jeez, let me think. I really don't have any too much, but I know on the 2021s on the EX5 line, you're going to get a smaller tire, and I think you're not even going to get a team issue. So that's a pro for me, is the team issues. The team issues, Bonneregger XR4s are going to be in the 2.6 and the 29er. They're really fast. I don't care what people say. They're really fast and durable. So I did take it to a bike park too. So that's this is my setup that I'm actually running here, is actually went with the SE4. So it's the SE4 in the back with the XR4 in the front. I'll be doing a race in the next couple of weeks, so I'll be running all XR4s. I just keep it in the rear because I feel like that gets the most punishment for me. And